What's going on, Conscious Crew? It is your favorite breakdown commentator, CTV. Welcome to another riveting episode of the Conscious TV platform. You already know what we're here to get into. Before we do so, go ahead and thumbs up this video. You guys know that thumbing up the video is definitely the way to support the algorithm, but more importantly, it is a way to trigger up the notification system. So when you are thumbing up the video, you are literally knocking on the digital door of another Conscious Crew member and telling them to get their arses into the goddamn sanctuary. Also, shout out to all of the new subbies. Make sure that you guys have your notification bell set to all. Last but not least, please share the stream out to wherever it is you have digital community. Whether that be your MySpace, your Twitter, your Snapchat, your BGC, the dark side of Twitter, Tumblr, or your personal OF. I don't really give a damn where you lay the line. Just let them whores know the real out live. And then color in with no further ado. Let's go ahead and push on through. Oh,
I know a place where you can recharge your soul.
Baby, that's Conscious TV.
And in the midst of brokenness, he gon' see your asshole.
Baby, that's Conscious TV.
You gon' heal, you gon' laugh and catch a little shade.
Ooh, girl.
Y'all know he be slaying, y'all better stop playing. Come hear what he's saying.
Ladies and gentlemen.
all right, let me shout out to the Conscious Crew in the building. What's going on, Cynthia? What's going on, Nikki? Hey, Courtney. What's going on, Food Expert? Hey, Britt. Hey, Moesha. Hey, Tam. Hey, B. Angie. Jordan. What's going on? They love MJ. Hey, y'all. Make sure you guys are thumbing up the video. Is the most important thing you can do on this here platform. Girl, we got some things to get into, all right? This is kind of an improv video. I did not plan on returning tonight, but you know, when work calls, when duty calls, you know the rest of it, okay? I need to be cleaning up and doing some other things. But I found this piece of commentary that Cardi B's best friend Ken Barbie gave to be very, very, very fascinating. So I want us to listen a little bit to what Ken Barbie had to say. For those of you who have been out of the loop, you guys know that Cardi B and her best friend and blogger friend Ken Barbie have been at odds with a struggle YouTube uploader by the name of Wendy WIGGINS, who has been pressed and bothered and trying to get momentum to her channel by always trying to stimulate and arouse tension with these female rappers who he'll never be. Okay, you guys know that Cardi B chose Jason Lee over his ass. This made him burn up the book and damn near burn down his entire goddamn studio that was funded by another damn YouTuber, okay? That was almost a waste of damn sponsored money, girl. He was about to tear the roof down, baby, with an old nasty piece of flamethrower, girl. Okay, that almost was a waste of Larry's money, girl. And then it's been up ever since, girl. So, of course, as a result of him being rejected once again, he went ballistic and went crazy, and it's been Cardi B hate year all 2024 allegedly, girl. He's been slamming everything she do, just slamming every song, every video, girl. You know, she's just been the gum beneath his high heel. This then led to him finding a way to fucking start poking around with Ken Barbie, since he wasn't getting the type of attention he was looking for from his Cardi. And Ken has been trying to be as classy based, as emotionally intelligent, as mature as he can be, by just practically being like, nigga, we ain't got no smoke. I don't really know what the fuck your problem is. Spin the block, find you another bitch to play with, because I'm not her. It's clear you ain't got no real friends, so maybe then fucking with me, you need to go on Christian Mingle, girl, on getafriend.com, bitch. Get you a profile, girl, and start nurturing some bestie relationships, honey, okay? Because I don't really know what it's giving. All right. This led to some back and forth, girl, between Wendy WIGGINS and Ken Barbie, and finally Ken came forward and addressed some things allegedly for the last time, girl. This is it. He's throwing in his towel. He has a best friend to go hang with. Shout out to Cardi B. You know, he got things to do. He got friends to go be with and to spend time with, girl. So he gave Miss Wendy Wiggins a 1-2 and a biscuit upside his motherfucking head, and gave him a classy goodbye. He cleared up some things. He kind of pulled the trigger for Horseface, because remember in my previous commentary about the Fallout girl, because Horseface girl just been running amok in the stable, child. He done burnt down the Foxhole house. Then he done burnt down his friendship to Mammy Radio girl. They done unfollowed each other and dragging each other, girl. It's just the roof girl is on fire, girl. I guess when he burnt up Jason's book, he really wasn't expecting his house to catch fire, bitch. But that's how that good witchcraft work, girl. It's girl, whatever you say about me, I send back to you. I'm water, girl, but you're gonna be Elmer's glue type witchcraft, bitch. Okay, everything, girl. When he set that shit on fire, girl, he was not expecting all of his shit to go up in flames, because in the worst of any leaks, when you play dirty, baby, you can never win. So when you really fucking with alignment, and people who got real alignment, I ain't talking about people who got a do no half-ass fasting, but people who are fully plugged into the Father, Son, and the Holy Daughter, girl. You got to watch your mouth. You got to watch your energy, girl. All that slick shit you think you be doing when you be trying to rub shit in people's face. It's like he got up online when he had sucked the pussy lips of a producer just to get the TGIF seat and thought that he wanted to wake me and Sherelle's world up. And then when she got up, girl, she made a prediction that his ass would be unemployed in 3 months. And then in 3 months, that bitch was terminated the hard, public, shameful, humiliating way, bitch. Okay? Because once again, when you play dirty, you can never, ever win. That's how I know that girl ain't working with no real alignment, girl. It's giving very much so like Timu alignment. It's giving very much so saving is still downloading, girl, because it don't stick. It falls apart so quick, and it falls apart so apocalyptically, girl. It's just like, it's not even like a cute undoing. It just be, the whole damn ground starts shaking, bitch. It's like Moses being up there with, Jehovah getting the damn 10 commandments and the tablet situated, girl. The whole damn mountain be shaking and thundering and rumbling, child. It just be shameful. So I want us to take a listen to what Ken had to say. He exposed some things in his Twitter space today, apparently. And of course, I want to shout out to my girl, Coffee City. She is single-handedly responsible for why I know anything as it relates to what's going on with Horseface and Mammy Radio and this whole situation, because I would never give them hoes no type of a click or a personal view. If it wasn't for bloggers like Coffee City, baby, I would be clearly in the goddamn dark. So shout out to Coffee City, who is on the job. She on the job. It is spelled Coffee and City on YouTube, honey. She been keeping up with the things. I'm going to share the recording that she pulled from Ken Barbie's Twitter space, and we're going to take an old nasty piece of listen to this, child, because it was very revealing. Now nobody is going to be shocked as to what Ken Barbie is saying, because at this point, the T sector has carved out an entire psychological profile of Horseface, of Wendy Wiggins, girl. So at this point, she's just a broken record, girl, spinning the same tune every day, all day, every block. If anything, it's just further confirmation upon confirmation upon confirmation, girl. And we just continue to understand why she wanted to be mentored by Unwind with Opioids. They're the same person, same consciousness, same narcissism, same problematicness, same dark-heartedness, same being an emotional midget, just emotionally, intellectually raggedy as hell. So we understand why, there was a slight compatibility there, but because they're both narcissists, girl, they were going to turn their swords on each other eventually, and that lasted all of 27 damn days. So, all of that. I'm going to post a link to Coffee City's video, too. Hold on. Did I fuck up the thing? Did I mess up the thing? Did I mess it up? I think I done messed up the thing, child. Did I exit out of this? I done exited out of my stuff, y'all. Yep. Hold on. I'm gonna have to pull this shit all back up. All the way back up. All the way up. Let me see here. Hold on. I can't believe I had done clicked up out of these. I ain't know I had to did that. Now I'm gonna put this shit. Now I'm gonna fast forward this girl because you know it's quite a bit a commentary that Ken Barbie gave. But he touched on some key things that are very fascinating to me. Y'all know I like to get into people's psychology and shit, chat. So let me post. I'm gonna post the link to her channel in the description box so you guys can check her out. Please subscribe to her. And once again, this is covered by fair use. And this is Ken Barbie with his final addressing to the state girl into Congress. And it was quite the commentary. Where is my fair use? All right, here we go.
Him and Cardi fell out for whatever reason, and that's what it was. They both understood each other at this point about why it was a problem. But he also feels like I was in her ear trying to stop him from being friends with her. Like, what type of middle school is this? What type of middle school is that? What would you being friends with her have to do with me? What would that change for me? For me to give a fuck? That to me, it more so shows like the type of timing that you are on. Because why are you so focused on me? Like I said in the previous spaces, there's been multiple instances, not only in private, but also in public, where Armand has said things like, oh, why is she always posting KenBarbie but not posting me? Why is she always sharing KenBarbie's content and liking KenBarbie's content, but she don't do the same for me? Why is KenBarbie in the friends and family section and I'm over here in the crowd? And it's just one of those things where you look at it, it's like, do you know the friends and family? Like, what are you talking about? And just to set the scene with that really quick, because I don't want it to get misconstrued or to seem like I'm trying to be funny or flex or anything like that. It's like, all right, for the last birthday party that Cardi had, he had on like the red, I think it was the burlesque thing, the last public birthday party. There was a stage in the front, stage up in the front, and then friends and family like right here off to the side, and the rest was just the club venue in front. The friends and family section was legitimately just friends and family. So it was Cardi's actual relatives and then her immediate friends that, you know, like me and T-Style, so forth, like the people that, and also the friends that she like grew up with, like came up with. It wasn't in a situation where there were like any celebrities or media or anything like that over there. If any celebrities wanted to come through, for example, I think Ice Spice.
Okay, I want to put a pause in it right there, girl. Ree said that who wants a friend like Horseface? He keeps your text records, your secrets to expose when you are mad, like people owe his messy ass something. Yep, just like he did with Jason Lee, his alleged mentor, girl. He was ready to put all the voice notes, all the cliff notes, all the text messages on blast, girl. All because he was in those toxic feminine ass feelings, which I find to be so ironic that Wendy WIGGINS always likes to make very like homophobic and queerphobic statements, even though he is a hyper feminine smush booty twerking power bottom of LA himself, and yet he makes very like anti-gay statements, such as he's always for some reason going at Ken Barbie and Ken Barbie's wig, Ken Barbie's makeup, calling him confused. And this is coming from a card-carrying member of the LGBT community, girl. This is coming from a smush booty twerker themselves, girl. This is coming from a whole dick sucker themselves, and yet they have the audacity to attempt to make another member of the LGBT community look crazy, look illogical, look mentally ill. And that lets me know that he has definitely like some self-hate issues. You know, he has very anti-queer politics, which I'm not surprised about, because this is the same person, right, who called OG a monkey. This is the same person that believes that dark-skinned women are utterly inferior toward light-skinned women. This is the person that Black women have had to cancel over and over and over and over and over again. This is the same person who sat right next to Claudia Jordan on her show that he wouldn't even had a job had it not been for what she created, and laughed in her face along with Al at her SA, and had to come back the next day after they put fire to his ass and make him and Al apologize. This is the same person that blamed Megan Thee Stallion for getting shot in her foot. I mean, so when I say emotional midget, like the shortcomings, girl, are just there all the time. It's just really interesting. But I just find it inconceivable that somebody who is also LGBT as fuck literally thinks that he's a better LGBT than Ken Barbie is, simply because he doesn't choose to wear wigs and weaves and makeup every day, even though he got that shit in his closet too, even though he puts that shit on too. But somehow it's so weird at how much of a pick-Misha this bitch is. Like, he really has the lowest self-esteem of them all, and he has some weird desire to just try to fit in, girl. Always trying to fit in with the cool kids, trying to fit in with the dominant society. Just like when he made that music video with Rolly, or whatever her name is, from Baddies. And instead of representing himself as the smush booty twerking power bottom that he is, he instead had all these female strippers busting it open on him, you know, opening up their coochies in his face. I remember there was a lot of conversation at that time where people was like really confused, like, why this nigga got all these women all over him and he's a whole like nigga on nigga lover. Like, he's a whole dude on dude lover. He's a whole like doggy style for doggy style ass nigga, because the nigga is a pick-Misha. The nigga is weird. The nigga don't stand on no type of business. He blows with the wind. He doesn't really have no identity. He is going to try to go with wherever the popular vote is, girl. Wherever the gain is wherever he gonna lean at, honey, okay? He's like Trump, girl, okay? But even going back to what Ken Barbie was saying just now about the entitlement of, like, did you really expect, like, first of all, you should have just been lucky, bitch, to even have been invited to the shindig, because, like, girl, who are you, for one, you know? Like, but nonetheless, Cardi is also a pick-Misha. She's desperate to control the narrative through media, so she's going to use you accordingly. And since you like to love bomb and you're going to fall right into, you know, the belly of the beast and be used and be puppeteered, then let Cardi B use your dumb ass, okay? So instead of you reading the room and realizing, girl, that this is a transactional relationship, you're not actually family. Nobody actually wants to be friends with you. There's nothing to gain from being friends with you. You a flip-flopper. You're shallow as fuck. You are... Your talent is, I really don't know what. And the only reason Cardi would have wanted to align is just so that you could talk shit about somebody else but her, because that's a part of her shortcoming too. She's a pick-Misha bitch. So you got one pick-Misha for another pick-Misha, right? So Ken Barbie is like, girl, you should have just been grateful to just be at the party. Like, did you really expect to be in the family best friend section? Like, are you okay? No, girl, you was going to be in the general section where general population is. Like, were you really expecting, girl, to be in the center of the room? No, like, of course Cardi B was going to sit you next to the women's restroom, girl. Okay, of course you were going to be to the back of the restaurant, girl. Okay, near the kitchen. Like, why? Like, what have you done to earn your spot in the middle of the event? Like, and this be the thing and the issue that a lot of people have with this horse who has no stable is he literally expects to do the least. And then thinks for some reason, girl, he is supposed to be seated in the Supreme Court, girl, that he is supposed to be seated amongst Congress, girl. Like the person who does the bare minimum regarding anything when it comes to his interpersonal relationships, when it comes to his connections to people. And yet he wants this big, grand red carpet rollout. It's so weird. You know, here it is. You have Cardi B, a international superstar who has a huge platform and has literally put in the work, even if a part of that work is payola, to, you know, be that bitch. And she's gracing you with any type of proximity to her. Instead of just being a fake LA bitch and just being opportunistic and just making sure that you play all of your cards completely right to this person who you want to clout chase off of, here it is, you're coming into a transactional relationship, girl, with all your childhood trauma, with all of your mommy issues, with all of your daddy issues, with all of your dark skin issues, with all of your gay issues, with all of these issues that you have as a person, and you're dragging all that into every fucking relationship and is expecting people to coddle you and expecting people to mammy you and expecting people to put you on a big fat titty and just milk you to fucking life when nobody gave birth to him but his actual fucking mammy. And according to the tears he was crying on his own platform, even she didn't do that for him. So what the fuck does any other chick, what the fuck does any other feminine being, what the fuck does any other woman fucking owe him? You know, even got Ken Barbie like, is this bitch okay? Does she need a psyche valve? Like, is she all right? Is she all right? Because who just expects all of that? Like, what in the hell have you done for Cardi B that requires you to be in the center of the room rather than back there near the restrooms? Well, there's always this entitlement, girl. Okay, just like the same projection and pressure he had put on Unwind with opioids, who had only known him for 27 whole fucking days, and he wanted this damn bald-headed ass woman to mammy him and titty him and milk him and just nurse his whole fucking career, girl. You only known a motherfucking woman for less than a month. Who does that? Are you okay? So I'm with Ken on that. Let's continue to listen.
Came up at some point. Glorilla came up at some point. Chance the Rapper. A couple people came through, but they didn't stay over there either. They came on the stage, danced with Cardi a little bit, spoke to her, showed her love, and they moved on.
Okay, so did you hear what he just said, girl? Everybody else who been at these events and had adjacency to Cardi B has had enough self-esteem, girl, to shuck and drive, give her a kiss on the cheek, do a little twerk, girl, and move on with the fuck on with their night. Nobody else is wanting to be at the hem of this bitch garments. Nobody else is begging for a damn photo. Nobody else is acting like, girl, this is the last time they will ever get an invite any goddamn where, girl. The only motherfucking bitch who is tripping is obviously the thirstiest bitch in the damn room. The only bitch, girl, who is just doing the most, girl, is the girl who ain't used to having shit. A girl who ain't used to being invited nowhere, girl. A girl who just ain't never been beyond the LA hood gates, okay? She is the one getting her thirst bucket on. Everybody else from Glorilla to the rest of these talented people, girl, are not pressed to be in Cardi B's presence, girl. They know that they're just as powerful, as influential. They're just as esteemed. You know, so they're holding it together, girl. The only girl at the party falling the fuck apart, girl, is this blonde, partially hairline having ass horse.
for somebody like Armand to be like, okay, but why is Ken Barbie over there? Why am I not over there? It's like, what do I have to do with you? What do I have to do with you? And what I honestly feel, maybe I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. If there's any rebuttal, I don't give a fuck. So he might tell y'all that, but this is for me. But what I honestly feel is that because I'm a blogger, and I think I said this on the previous page, because I'm a blogger and he saw that relationship and how she shows love and how she does support my content and things like that, that if he showed the same type of support and because he does something media-wise as well, that he would see the same thing. And I feel like that's not a realistic expectation. Maybe you didn't know any better as far as to how close we were or how that looked, but it's like, once you step into the situation and you see that that's not what it is and kind of more of what that dynamic is, what's the obsession with comparing to me? And to me, the way that you know I'm right in saying that is because I'm not Cardi's only friend. I'm not Cardi's only best friend, if you really want to wake it up. So when you make these comparisons as to like, oh, why is she liking Ken Barbie's pictures and why is she sharing Ken Barbie's pictures and things like that? Why is it always me? Why was it never asked that about like T-Style? Why was it never asked that about like Star? It was always just me. So it seems like, oh, you must think that it's something different there because I'm a blogger, right? Does this make sense? Because I want to make sure that we actually making sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. I think that Ken Barbie is on it. Like, why you keep singling me out and pointing me out and keep comparing yourself to me? First of all, there's no comparison. Like, me and this girl do life in real life together. Okay, you're just some bitch, some hoe over there. Okay, who has sat in a corner and begged and love bombed Cardi B in order to spite Nicki Minaj. Because let's not act like Cardi B don't know what the tea is, bitch. She knows that she's a casualty of war. She knows that the only fucking reason that you even started kissing up her pussy lips is because you was trying to spite another bitch. Okay? So we're not going to even act like Cardi B don't know that you're shallow. And she's just playing into your game because, once again, she also don't like the bitch who you trying to spite. So the attitude is, the enemy of my enemy is my motherfucking friend. So just like you're going to try to use me to spite that bitch, I'm going to use you also to spite that bitch. But to literally act like Cardi B should be taking you seriously and actually should find you sincere and should find any of your love bombing and any of your like insincere tactics toward her to be remotely genuine, as if people didn't see this whole thing play out publicly and saw how when Nicki Minaj closed the door is closed, bitch, that you went ziplining it in the fastest over there to Miss Cardi, girl. And then on top of that, if it wasn't bad enough that you only tried to form a relationship to her because, for one, you're spiteful, for two, you're superficial. So you tried to opt up with her against another chick. But on top of that, when you fell out with one of her other gay blogger best friends, Jason Lee, you also tried to injure her relationship to that friend by, on Mad Day, letting it be known that allegedly that friend had been shit talking to you about her doing pillow talk, which only made you look like an even more faker bitch because you held on to this information that she had a snake in her camp, and you was cool with her having a snake in her camp because, for one, you don't give a fuck about her in all actuality. You didn't care because you're not in this to really be her friend. You're in this to see what type of momentum, what type of motherfucking speedometer you can get going for yourself. What can she offer you, girl? What space, what resource, what visibility, what clout is available for you to fucking suck dry off of, girl? She's just a thing to you. She's not a person. She's not a human. She's not a woman. You know, she's not a sentient being that has needs and friends. Okay? She's just an object to you. So you only friended her to try to opt up with her, which is insincere, for one. And then you came in and withheld very important information from her and was okay with her having a friend who was backstabbing her, who was talking about her behind her back, allegedly. And you didn't feel the need to let that be known to her until Mad Day. And then let's talk about Mad Day. You didn't even tell her first. You didn't even extend a personal conversation to her and said, hey, Jason been telling me not to fuck with you because you're a fake ass bitch and you don't really fuck with other YouTubers and you don't do shit for nobody else. You only think about yourself and blah, 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 blah. No, you chose to put that information out to the general public and also humiliate her. There was no protection in that for her. You didn't allow her to deal with that with a sense of dignity or anything, girl. You just went mad, threw it all out there, and then was once again fine with her having a snake ass bitch in her camp, as long as you could benefit from the person you now calling a snake. As long as you could benefit from Jason Lee, long as he was letting you host gag talk, and long as he was putting you in rooms with Kanye West, long as he could be leached upon, it was okay for him to be talking shit about Cardi. You didn't give a fuck to inform her. You didn't care that he was snaking her because you was getting it on the front end by clout chasing off of her, and you was getting it on the back end by clout chasing off of him. But then when you got mad at him, you tried to blow the motherfucking whole house down. And once again, didn't even find that information important to give to her as a friend, as somebody who's trying to form a genuine organic relationship to her, by telling her that information when it actually mattered, by telling her that information when he first started talking shit to you about her. Because this is what clout chasers and users do. And to think that Cardi is just not aware of all that, to actually think that he's like somehow being a ninja and pulling a wool over her eyes is just so fucking weird. To think that anybody without common sense, girl, wouldn't be able to clock it. Like, girl, you're not even good at hiding your hand. You're not even like clever. You're not even actually like sweet with it. You ain't even like smooth with the shit, baby. Like, you just outside, like your agenda is outside. Like your sloppiness is outside. It's so weird. It's so weird.
I feel like I was rambling and a lot of people kind of misconstrued the things that I was saying last time. So I need some thumbs up or something if this is making some fucking sense. Because again, this is it for me. But yeah, so if it's not a personal thing to me, or as far as like an expectation because of what I do, why am I the only name that's brought up? You wouldn't have the audacity to ask her.
And that's a good point, TST. The dumbass, look, just like the bitch fell for being a puppet for Al Reynolds, right? And then that ended up turning into a roast. That ended up turning into him having a last and final day on the job. The bitch never even sat back and thought, wait a minute, I'm about to attempt to come in between two best friends. I don't find it strange that Jason Lee, who's one of Cardi's other best friends, is talking shit to me, a messy bitch, a messy ass internet bitch who can't hold no water, a messy internet ass bitch who has a pattern of failing relationships, of jumping out of the window, of sabotaging myself, of not reading the room. I don't think that is weird that out of all people, he would like pillow talk with me about his bitch. How I know that him and Cardi ain't setting me up? How I know that him and Cardi, as a result of trying to figure out if I deserve to be on the inside of the clique, ain't decide to test me by planting a seed and then seeing what I would do with that seed, by trying to plant a seed of division and see if I would carry the bone or see if I would hold on to the bone for Mad Day. How, like, it never even crossed his mind, because the bitch that gullible and that fucking stupid and deaf tone and don't read the motherfucking room is so shameful. Like, how can you be this much of a fucking idiot? How much of it, like, how can you be this much of a fucking idiot? It never even crossed his fucking mind that maybe he was being set up and tested and tried by Cardi. And this actually would explain, TST, why Cardi B paid none of that shit that he said about Jason talking shit about her any attention. Because the next thing we saw after he sat up there and burned up an autobiography book and exposed voice notes and text messages and all this shit was she pushed on right on through to the Hollywood Unlocked studio and gave his ass that fucking exclusive for bongos. And left Miss Horseface on red. So now we know that they ran a damn play on Horseface stupid ass. Ran a whole fucking play on his stupid ass, just like Al stupid ass was able to run amok and run a play on his goofy ass. And then that ended up turning into a roast that ended up putting everybody's ass in the unemployment line. Just fucking stupid.
Why she's sharing Star's story or something, you wouldn't have the audacity to ask her why she's sharing T-Styles or Ashanti's story or something. So why me? Because I'm a blogger, right? Name's still in your mouth. It's yet another example of what's been going on in the last couple months. Laughing at him being fired from Fox Soul. And why would I be laughing at him while he was in New York? He was in New York on vacation. I don't know what the fuck that has to do with anything. First and foremost, I was not laughing at you. I'm an adult. I've been on my own since 17 years old. So that means before I became who I am today and all of that, I've worked all types of jobs and had my life. And I've been through enough to know losing their job and that type of shit, that's not a kiki to me. That's not funny. That's not a hee ha ha. Because not only...
Okay, so what Ken is talking about is that Horseface had to try to find some way to justify trying to get at Ken Barbie when Ken Barbie was just minding his business and tending to his friend. So he tried to act like Ken Barbie had threw shade at him about TGIF and the whole situation. First and foremost, I don't know if that's if Ken Barbie did or didn't. Ken Barbie is saying that he didn't, and nobody has produced any receipts that he did. Secondly, it's so funny how people want to be famous until it's time to be famous. Because even if Ken Barbie had reported on the TGIF shit, had found him responsible, had felt like he played into the demise of the show, etc., that would have been his motherfucking opinion and his goddamn prerogative, because Ken Barbie is a fucking blogger and he's not your friend. He's Cardi B's friend. Okay, you and Ken are just loose associates because you the associate of one of his actual friends, but y'all are not friends. And this is my thing. It's also weird at how these girls have such a frail ass self-esteem. Like, honestly, personally, for me, I don't give a fuck about subliminals. If a bitch can't say it with their chest, as far as I'm concerned, a bitch ain't say it at all. If a bitch ain't said it with their chest and put an address on it, a bitch ain't said it at all. At all. And I don't even respond to bitches until they put an address on it. Now, Ken Barbie will go forward and say, you know, it's the audacity for me because, girl, you get paid a little Google AdSense check to talk shit about people all day, every motherfucking day. So, can we stand the rain or not actually stand the rain? Confused.
Do it, but anybody can go through it at any given point. Even, especially in the entertainment industry, it can go away just like that. So, I'm not the type of person that really takes all these and things like that and people losing. I don't give a fuck about that, because whether you winning or losing or whatever the case may be, I still got to get it how I live. I still got to work. So no, I was not laughing at anything that had to do with you. I wasn't thinking about you. But you keep mentioning, oh, I was in New York or whatever the case may be. Again, I don't know if that has to do with anything, because when you've been spending your time figuring out ways the last 6 months, this whole year, so what we had 6-7 months at this point, when you've been spending your entire year so far on this campaign trashing Cardi and adding me into it and shading me at every chance that you got, you don't know where the fuck was. I've been everywhere. So no matter what state I was in, you were shading me. So what difference would it have made? But I guess, like, what he was trying to make was like, I was just shading him for no reason. He hasn't done anything to me. And what I said the other day that I guess set him off was, I said, okay, I actually wasn't. I don't care about the Fox Soul situation, and I don't even know all the fucking details to be able to kiki about it. But let's just say, for shits and giggles, if I did say anything, how can I? Because for the last
okay, and that's the argument that Ken is making, Rashida. And if I did, so what? If I did, so what? Why am I not able to? Haven't you been over there dragging the fuck out of Cardi B? Ain't you been over there shading the fuck out of her? Ain't you been over there tearing her motherfucking down every fucking opportunity? If I did chuckle, if I did a little hee-haw, and spoke your language, so the fuck what? Bitch, you didn't clearly have no issue roasting the nigga publicly, so why the fuck doesn't a person have the liberty of laughing at your motherfucking ass publicly? It's not like people are laughing at something that happened privately. It's not like some people laughing at some shit that took place behind the fourth wall. Y'all done got out here and did Instagram posts and got in Twitter spaces and talking about the shit. Had I did laugh, so the fuck what? I'm laughing at the content, bitch, that you made public. You the one who embarrassed your motherfucking self. You the one who did what you did that led to the actions that led to me motherfucking laughing. So rather than having an issue with me laughing, bitch, it seems to be a mispriority to me. How about take up an issue with what the fuck you did to clock your $250,000 a year ass bag? It seemed to be a misnumber for me to focus on the bitches who laughing rather than to focus on what you did to give the girls anything to gawk and to laugh at. Okay, this would just be more deflection. Okay, by making it seem like everybody else is the motherfucking problem, whether they agree or don't agree that you were at fault for what took place at TGIF, rather than to spend time addressing the actions you took that contributed to the downfall of the situation. And once again, we not friends. So if I did have a public hee-haw, bitch, I don't owe you shit. I don't owe you nothing. You and Cardi not even friends, yet alone me and you friends, bitch. Okay, so how is it that it's okay for you to commit to dragging Cardi B all year for however length of time, being a whole hate page for her essentially, but Cardi B shouldn't have an issue though. Cardi B shouldn't clock an attitude though. If Cardi B is supposed to be a celebrity and understand that this is what comes with being a public figure, is you get to be dragged, you get to be talked about all day and motherfucking night. Since Horseface wants to be a goddamn celebrity and a motherfucking public figure, then he also has to deal with the fact that bitches can laugh and drag all motherfucking day and night. Whatever is good for Cardi, whatever is good for the goose is good for the goddamn gander. Girl, we're not friends. I'm not breaking no friendship code. If I want to laugh, I can. If I want a full out report on the shit, I can. I don't owe you a motherfucking thing.
But you've been talking about me for no reason. You've been picking and talking shit for no reason. So at this point, obviously we're not cool. So if I did laugh, how can you get mad because you said what you want to say? That was my point. Saying that I did or anything like that. I actually said I did not. I don't give a fuck that. But what do I owe this man to where I should watch what the fuck I have to say? You don't. I've noticed like with a lot of these content creators, it's okay for you to say whatever the fuck want to say. But the minute somebody says something about you, it's rah rah. I gotta clap back. I wanna say this. I'm gonna drag them. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. Bruh, you need to shut the fuck about me then. The thing is, I won't even say a shit about you. The tweet you was referencing was days after apparently you even announced that happened. How are we connecting the two? And that's an example, and that's gonna lead us into like the main thing here. That's an example of so many different times. Anytime that I've tweeted something, I'm not gonna say every time, but plenty of times, when I've tweeted something that might have been shady, or a song lyric that might have been shady, or anything of the sort, I've gotten text messages or calls from Armand like, who is this about? Is this supposed to be about me? And da-da-da-da-da. And I've literally had to ask this man like, yo, do you have some type of smoke for me?
Wow. So Ken, wow. This is so obsessive and delusional. Who does that? So Ken Barbie, just let it be known, girl, that in the beginning, when everything, when there was supposed to be some type of camaraderie, when everything was supposed to be okay, this is when Cardi B was really fooling up with WIGGINS and opting up with his ass, when it was supposed to be some camaraderie. And they communicated that any little thing that Ken Barbie did, anything, girl, he tweeted, anything he said, that the horse would come galloping out of the goddamn stable, girl, blowing up his phone, confronting him about whether something that was tweeted 23 milliseconds ago was about him. Girl, do you know how insecure and pressed bitch you got to be? Did y'all hear what Ken Barbie just said? Girl, let me run that back for y'all.
Be about me and and I've literally had to ask plenty of times when I tweeted something that might have been shady, or a song lyric that might have been shady, or anything of the sort. I've gotten text messages or calls from Armand like, who is this about? Is this supposed to be about me? And And I've literally had to ask this man, like, yo, do you have some type of smoke for me? And he's like, no. And I'm like, all right. So for me, we don't have no type of smoke. Why is anything that I'm saying that's shady or whatever the case may be, why would you even think it's directed to you? Because if you talking shit, I'm not going to think you talking to me because we don't have an issue.
Exactly.
Unless it's something that's way too direct, like what you've been doing in the last couple months.
The fuck? Wow.
So,
wow. Not the bitch who all over YouTube, girl, claiming that everybody is jealous of him and that he's that girl is the most insecure girl, is the most insecure, low self-esteem, having Miss Mama on the internet. Not her obsessing, girl, over whether people are in fact talking about her or not, girl. Not her over there playing Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego, girl. Not her over there playing Tetris with Twitter, bitch. Okay, trying to decode bitches' tweets as if Ken Barbie isn't a whole entire motherfucking blogger who got shade to throw at a lot of bitches. So why you think it's always got to be you, bitch, that some shit is directed to? It's the insecurity wrapped up in the narcissism for me. For you to believe that you are worth that level of focus out of somebody who has an actual job to do every day or day.
And I honestly think, I don't know, he might really think it, but I don't even think Armand really thinks this. But just thought that I would have was in Cardi's ear or whatever the case may be. When they fell out, I hadn't talked to Cardi about it yet. Armand text, I said this on the previous space, but we're gonna clarify it a little bit more, because like I said, some of y'all had it real up. So we're gonna make sure the patterns and it makes sense this time. All right. So whatever their situation was, I'm not really gonna get too deep into that because I feel like that part is not really relevant. Like, it's not my place. So they went through whatever their situation was. Armand hit me up on like some rah-rah shit, like accusing me of having something to do with telling her what happened that she was mad about, or like being in her ear about it. And I'm like, first of all, who are you talking to? Secondly, what are you talking about? Like, I haven't even talked to Cardi about that yet. Like, what's going on? So of course, I called her, heard what was going on, whatever the case may be. And I texted him like, I mean, I didn't have anything to do with that. I didn't know what was going on, but now that you kind of fill me in, I get it. I get exactly.
So now Ken is also talking about how Wendy WIGGINS, girl, has, anytime that things get weird, things get funky with him and Cardi, he somehow believes that it's Ken Barbie who's behind it, that Ken is somewhere putting a battery in Cardi's back. He's really pressed about this man and his wig, girl. These be the actual people that the bitch actually really can't sit next to, girl. He really can't take the gays that are the Ken Barbies, girl. He really can't take us, okay? He'll say that, girl, the Ken Barbie is confused the actual truth is the reason that he's real pressed about the super flamboyant gays and the gays who can be feminine and who can embrace their femininity and who is like unapologetically creative and come full circle in their masculinity and femininity is because narcissists are always very threatened and feel very inferior toward people who are very authentic. What he'll say publicly is those confused ass bitches. The truth is this girl knows that the Ken Barbies are the realest girls on the block because they actually have a identity. They have an authenticity. And that's unparalleled and unmatched to all of that fake ass shit he got to do every day, all day, because he ain't got no substance of self. So he's threatened by other people who have a substance of self. I believe that this is what Nicki Minaj's problem is with Cardi. What her problem is with Megan Thee Stallion is that Nicki Minaj is another one who blows with the fucking wind. She don't know. She don't know whether she want to stand for black women or whether it's black girl tragic. She don't know whether she wants to be a shero or she wants to be a gangster bitch. You know, she don't know what it gives. You know, every talking point she has is contradicted by the next set of talking points. And and something that Megan and Cardi got that Nicki don't is they have an actual identity. Like Cardi B knows that she's a raggedy bitch. She knows that she's a street bitch, a hood bitch. She just want to get money. She willing to do some criminal shit. She willing to scribble all upside the lines. She knows she ain't no Mother Teresa. She don't act like she no Mother Teresa. You know, she just gives it up delicious. Megan Thee Stallion, you know, she embraces who the fuck she is. She young, she fly, she don't give a fuck. And she does what she needs to do. You know, she's genuinely an upbeat ass person. You know, she's a girl's girl, etc. girl. Nicki Minaj can't stand all of that. She can't stand that solidarity. And narcissists always feel the need to challenge authentic people because they never really believe that anybody is truly authentic. They think that everybody's just as fake as they are. So they poke and try to set you up to see if they can finally expose your inauthenticity. But when you're actually authentic, of course, the narc keeps coming up with zero, which then just keeps frustrating them, which then just deepens their obsession over you. He's really threatened by the fact that this is a whole man who can boldly put on his lashes and his blush and his weaves and his wigs and his heels and don't give a fuck. While Mr. People Pleaser, while Mr. Blow with the Wind, while Mr. trying to get in where he fit in, go along to get along, Mr. trying to get in with the cool kids, baby. He always got to be on his scooter, girl. High fly to the motherfucking wind. He can't create a table. He ain't got a table. He don't feel comfortable in who he is. That's why he won't embrace being and doing Tyro full time. Tyro is what he feels he really wants to do. But because Tyro don't get him no clicking views, because Tyro don't get him no clout, because Tyro don't make it look like he doing better than other people, he got to keep forsaking Tyro to talk about the type of content that he already done publicly said to all y'all he don't enjoy talking about. He don't want to talk about celebrities. He don't give a fuck about celebrities. But because of what the public optics look like as a result of him talking about celebrities, getting his click and views off celebrities, because of what the optics look like trying to cozy up to so-called celebrities, because he's so dense and fucking shallow, he don't have no choice but to remain in that addicted state and to forfeit the one or two things that he could be authentically about. Keeps getting sacrificed to be materialistic as fuck because he just a fake ass LA ass bitch. And it's all about the optics. And if he got to sell his baby down the river or sell his actual passions down the river just to do the thing that makes it look like he's doing well in life, because that's what means more to him, is creating the illusion and creating the image of being that bitch instead of just being that bitch. That's what he's bothered by. Deeply afraid of authentic folk. You see Cardi and Megan, they just be chilling, doing their fucking thing. You see that goddamn narc though, Nikki? That bitch gotta always talk about her accolades. Because when you don't have no other substance, when you don't have no other claim to your existence, but trying to measure yourself against other people constantly, you gotta stick to the metrics. You gotta stick to the metrics. You gotta stick to the math. You gotta constantly talk about what you done accomplished and what you done been awarded and what the fuck you done sold. Your obsession is people, rather than being able to be truly content and happy with your motherfucking self.
So I can definitely call you in a few, because he had asked me to call him before that, but I wanted to make sure that I knew what was happening before I called him. And of course, I'm going to want to hear that from my friend before I call you. You know what I'm saying? Because I need to know. I need to know what my bitch said. So, like, I mean, now that I have heard like her side of the story, I get exactly why she's mad. But I can call. I was like, I'll call you in a few and tell you if you still want to talk or whatever. And he was like, yes, please do, because I don't get it. So from that point, we actually got on the phone. We were probably on the phone for like 2 hours, right? And I'm not going to go over the whole conversation because that's not really important. But my entire point throughout that phone call was give her time, first of all, because I know Cardi like the back of my fucking hand. And a lot of her fans probably know this too. Like in the moment, when she's upset, she's going to go. She own it. But if you just give her a second and chill, don't really like antagonize her and bug her after the fact, she's gonna talk to you. Whether that comes as like an apology or just kind of like revisiting, explaining the situation, or she might not even address it at all and might just carry on like nothing happened. But the point is, like, I actually told him, like, it's not really you. Yes, you did do something, and yes, she's valid and feeling some type of way about it. But I think if this was at a different time, that she wouldn't have really gave as much of a. You know what I'm saying? Like, she probably still would have had an issue, but she wouldn't have, went in or anything. But my overall point was just give her time. Like, you got a lot going on, and this is not helping. So just chill. Don't take it personal, and I think y'all be good. Mind you, like I said, before I talked to him, I had talked to her. So not only is it that I know her, but also I knew where she was on the situation. So it's like, dude, relax and listen to me. Like, it's not that deep. So he actually told me at the end of that phone call, he's like, you know what? You're right. I'm going to leave it alone. I understand where she's coming from. I still feel a type of way about some of the things he said, but I get it. It's cool. I'm actually glad that.
Exactly, TST. But see, Horseface knows that, which is why when he couldn't get the 411 directly from Cardi, he ran to the second best, Ken Barbie, the actual friend. See, even he knows that Ken Barbie is she in the situation. He talk all that shit. But that's what he pressed over. Narcissists don't have a choice but to have like a bittersweetness toward their target. They want what you have, but at the same time they despise you because you got what they want. But once again, there are some stark differences between Ken Barbie and Wendy WIGGINS. Ken Barbie is an actual friend. He's actually invested in maintaining the facts and the truth as he know it to be about his friend. That's where his loyalties are. And he don't mind, in fact, being loyal. Not some hating loyal, not some backhanded loyal, but a very much so public in your face loyalty that's also rooted in facts and objectivity. While Horseface wants to grift off you, clout chase off you, have you build up his seat in his chair, while also wanting to flip-flop and pussy pop on you wanting to drag you unnecessarily, wanting to criticize you unnecessarily, and ultimately not really have anything else to bring to the table other than him just wanting to be there. Like, the issue that Horseface fucks up on is the fact that it's gimme, but what the fuck are you actually providing in return? Other than, well, I won't drag you, but hell, the girls can't even count on him to do that because he wants to be able to do that at the same time while being at your table. He wants to be able to throw you under the bus. He wants to be able to talk hella fucking shit. He wants to be able to be reckless with his fucking mouth. He wants to be able to use his words without any awareness of whether those words hurt your business, hurt your reputation, hurt your public perception. Don't give a fuck. Just want to be able to be completely and utterly true to himself, even if it's to your detriment, the person that he also wants you to extend opportunity to, open fucking doors for, pull the seat out for, while ultimately giving absolutely fucking nothing. Baby. And nothing works like that. Nothing works like that. At best, the only fucking people who will cater to Horseface are the people who are that pressed to not have him talk about their ass. Those are the only motherfucking people. Even though he don't give shit, even though there's no real benefit to having him around, the only motherfucking people that would and will keep him around are motherfucking people who are just real bitch made. As if when he does go to talk shit, there's something that happens outside of him talking shit. He did all that to Jason Lee. Wore the man's shirt, burned the man book up, tried to destroy the man's relationship to Cardi B, and then the man went on to sign a 6-figure contract with Revolt. Went on to walk into the Revolt stage with his best friend Cardi B in Horseface's face. All people do is continue to live and to win. So I'm not even sure why anybody would even kiss his ass just to keep them off his ass, because he is another Jaguar Wright. He can talk shit, but he don't have no power to move shit. He don't have no power to shake shit. He don't have no power to really impact a bitch business and brand. You just have to personally be weak as fuck and personally be drinking the fucking Jim Jones Kool-Aid to keep him around, just to keep him off your ass when it's all bark and no motherfucking bite there.
We had this issue, like maybe now that we've fallen out somehow, we'll start to get closer or whatever, some stupid shit like that. And I was just like, I ain't bad, like, have a good day. And that was it. So after that, there was no issue. He hadn't reached out to me. He hadn't reached out to Cardi as far. Yeah, he hadn't. But a little bit after that, he just started like going on this campaign of like shading her, and everything she did was horrible, and everything was negative when it came to her. And it started to become like really almost obsessive looking and weird. And to me, it's like, all right, shit, I just broke my nail, y'all. But I was like, it's one thing for you to be doing that, and most people know in situations like that, I would generally say something. But I kind of like held back because it was like, I think this dude is really just in his feelings. So
the man has a lot of toxic femininity. He has a lot of toxic femininity, not a healthy sense of femininity. He has a very much so toxic sense of femininity because he is narcissistic. He got a mommy fracture. He got childhood fractures. They've all converted into fucking narcissism. And as a result, these traumas and mama issues, they play out in his fucking relationships. Just like when he fell out with T.S. Madison, who just called in and set the show off earlier. Y'all got to check out that commentary, honey. Mother pulled up, honey. Pulled up and turned that thing on. Is this bitch recording? And it was. Okay? Like, Horseface got a lot of undealt with trauma. Just like when Mother Maddie didn't even know that the man didn't have a family of his own to go spend Thanksgiving with. And because she didn't invite him to Thanksgiving, this is like, he flipped the fuck out. He interviewed her op. They dragged Maddie. They dragged her deceased best friend, Miss Eve, accused Madison of stealing from Miss Eve. I mean, it was so deplorable and low vibrational. And all because of what? Because she invited me to the Queen Supreme's court several times and didn't extend the invite to you not once. Because, see, he was also throwing shade at me at that time, that T.S. Madison was trying to get me to Atlanta to do the Queen Supreme's court. And then he would go live and throw these subs like, yeah, you inviting these other bitches to do the show, and these other bitches ain't me. That's exactly why the other bitches are getting an invite, bitch, because they're not you. Nobody wants you. The fuck? And I ended up not doing the Queen Supreme Court because I didn't feel like I was ready for that level of exposure. I wasn't comfortable being, you know, like well known. I wasn't comfortable being a public figure because I saw what came out or what comes with having larger visibility. It gets harder to talk. People cling to your every word. It gets to the point that you really can't even say shit no more. You just kind of get miserable at the top. And I just wasn't ready to deal with all that pressure. And I knew that I would go do the Queen Supreme's Court and slay it. And I would get an influx of, you know, supporters. But I was scared of what that would look like for me. Because I'm somebody like, I've been authentic my whole life. I've never decided to tailor myself for society. Not at least since I was a teenager when I didn't know any better. But once I decolonized my mind, I got in touch with my real self. I never went back to trying to conform for society. So I'm not used to having to like, oh, be mindful of like what you're doing. Be mindful of who you're being. Be mindful of what you're saying, because I've lived so anti-society. I've lived so far away from having to give a fuck about the petty expectations of the general public. I've lived my life for decades now in such a bubble, but now being a public figure and having visibility, it comes with having to be aware of what you say, etc. And it's difficult. That shit is difficult for people who used to be in themselves, for people who just are who they are, and having to consider the general population is wild. So I didn't do it. And while she was calling for me publicly, like her and Mama Mary was like, we waiting on CTV. Like, I remember one time Madison went as far as to send me the flyer that Craig had made of me coming. I mean, the whole nine. I just was so shooketh. Because I just had not worked that thing out. Now I'm here, bitch. You know, I'm outside now. But at that time, I just was not interested in having a large platform. I'm still not interested in having a large platform. I'm only interested in having visibility for the sake of my art and my commentary. I want people to hear what I have to say. I wish there was a way for the world to hear what I have to say without me having to be famous in return. But more visibility comes with defaulting to fame and hyper popularity. And while all that was happening, that girl was pressed and highly bothered and talking shit and throwing shade. So once again, she shook up at authentic ass people, baby. Okay, she's shook up at people who not pressed the way she pressed, people who can exist in their own skin, people who comfortable with what they got, who the fuck they are. That authenticity is a threat, and Ken Barbie and Cardi's relationship is a threat. It's a threat to opportunists like Horseface, because the thing about opportunists and narcs is they need you to get the fuck. They need the real bitches to get the fuck out the way so that they can use accordingly. They gotta scan the room and see who you trust the most, see who you love the most, see who you got the most intimacy with, and then try to drive a wedge in those relationships, because they know that as long as there's a CTV and or a Ken Barbie in the room, bitch, that you're going to be clocked. They know that as long as there's a Ken Barbie and a CTV bitch in the room, and you're trying to get next to our bitch, you're going to be clocked. Okay? They know that the Ken Barbies and the CTVs act as the surveillance cameras, girl. We act as security at the front door, girl. We're patting you down, metaphorically speaking, girl. You will never be able to do anything without being discerned. You will never be able to get one over our bitches' heads. Even if our bitches could feed into your bullshit, they're going to be aware. They're going to be properly informed, feeding into your bullshit. They're not going to be completely subjected to your grip and into your witchcraft. That's why he's bothered. But it's so funny that when he couldn't get in contact with Cardi, girl, he had to run to the actual friend to figure out what the hell the temperature was, honey. And Ken Barbie is better than me because that bitch would have been to the voicemail.
I guess they'll get over it. Maybe they'll talk or something like that. But I'm gonna hold off for a second. As the days can start going on and on, I'm starting to be mentioned. And I'm starting to be disrespected, like finding different ways to like shade me from platform to platform, like whether it's in YouTube videos or spaces, no matter what the topic was, somehow it was going to end up as Cardi, and then somehow Ken was going to be brought up and shaded. And it's just like,
well, she finally had to bring him on to Fox Soul because they had done made up, you know. Do I wish that Maddie would not have went that hard just to make up with that bitch, especially when he was the one who did her wrong? Yeah. I wish that she would have let him earn her back. I wish that she would have let him do the work rather than her, you know, completely lean in just to make it clear to him that, okay, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to let bygones be bygones, etc. Because to be honest, went too fucking far. It's one thing, bitch. You feel away. You feel like I've been overlooking you. You feel like I don't really fuck with you. You feel like we ain't really friends. You feel like I've been treating you like a real friend. Okay. That's a conversation we could have had. That's, you know, a 4-page letter you could have sent, girl, you know, expeditiously. Okay? That's something you could have pulled up on and communicated to me about, girl. That's a FaceTime conversation. We could have talked about all that shit, etc. But even if you felt that way and I didn't feel that way and we had agreed to disagree, girl, you think that the equivalent of you being in your fifis because of how you feel I'm treating you is for you to go dragging my deceased best friend and then interviewing one of my ops, and the both of you wide-mouthed, decrepit-ass bitches sit up there in front of thousands of people and accuse me of stealing out of my deceased girlfriend's home, making up lies that her mother had to pull up with the police and damn near sue me just to retrieve some of my deceased girlfriend's property and furniture and paintings. Like, once again, I had never seen, at that point on YouTube, I had never seen something so deplorable and low vibration and just evil. And for me, it's one thing to be able to forgive a bitch, okay, like bygones be bygones, baby, but Madison is better than fucking me because that bitch would have never got into a relationship to me again. I would have been able to accept the apology. We good, girl. And throwing your ass to the lake of forgetfulness because it's just some places you just don't go. And beyond what was just said and done as a result of a petty difference between you and I, your ability to not really understand and take responsibility for just how fucked up you were and how inappropriate that was and how motherfucking out of order you are. Like, I'm sure that wasn't a part of the makeup conversation between Mother Maddie and Horseface. I'm sure that wasn't a part of the conversation. I'm sure that what did not happen on that phone when they finally touched off and talked about everything was Horseface said, you know what? I deeply apologize and realized that I need some goddamn therapy, and I went and got myself some damn help, because even if I felt like you didn't fuck with me, even if I did feel like you were big upping other girls, even if I did feel somewhat abandoned, somewhat ignored, etc., girl, that shit does not justify me linking up with your ops, because you never did that to me. It did not call for me allowing somebody to sit on my platform and to drag your deceased best friend, your gay mother, and for us to cackle and to holler and to scream and to laugh, all because I felt overlooked. That bitch tried to really commit to emotionally and psychologically and reputationally injuring T.S. Madison. All because she didn't offer that bitch a ham sandwich on Thanksgiving. And why the fuck would she? Why would she not think that, bitch, you had your own family to spend Thanksgiving with? Why would she not think you had your own people to be with? Why the fuck would she have thought that you wanted to be at her house with her people and her family, as if you don't got your own mama and family and siblings to go chew on some damn tough turkey with? Certain things I just would not be able to be in relationship to another person once it's been done. I will always be for people forgiving each other. I will always be for people shaking hands and making amends with each other. But baby, there is, once you go to a certain level, bitch, there will never be relationship again, bitch. Never. High and by, bitch. High and by. That's it. That's all. The bare minimum. High and motherfucking by. There ain't no need for me to have no emotionally unintelligent bitch in my circle. There ain't no need for me to have no crazy, weird, emotionally warped ass bitch, in my peripheral, girl, because I would never know what you would do again. In the name of you feeling away. I'll never know what type of junkie stunt your ass will pull again, because you feel away, because you and your toxic ass thinking done develop some toxic ass narrative, and you go feel away, baby. So Maddie better than me, but baby, it couldn't have been me. Couldn't have been me, baby. I can't do it.
What are you mad at me for? We didn't fall out. We didn't have words.
You're mad at
me. Actually ended positively, which to be 100%.
It don't need to. It don't need to.
Weird as fuck. Not typical, because typically the way that me and Cardi operate is, if I got an issue, she got an issue. If she got an issue, I got an issue. Y'all know how it goes.
Period.
But because I had some type of rapport with,
and this is why I respect Ken Barbie so much, because let me tell you something. We done got into that age where people done start kind of like redefining loyalty and shit. It's like, okay, well, I'm not gonna, I don't want to have an issue with somebody because they have an issue, because you got an issue with them. But then the hypocrisy is that them same people let you take up an issue with everybody who they got an issue with. They let you take up an issue, bitch, with everybody who got an issue with them. But when it comes to you, girl, not the same case. And then to add insult to injury, at first I was going to really try to entertain this idea that you could love somebody and you can be close to somebody and still fuck with the ops. I'm like, oh, okay, well, you can stay out of shit like that. You can have your own relationship. Yeah, that's true. But Ken Barbie just reminded me, girl, that there is one piece of variable that actually disrupts that whole type of thinking. That you could call yourself loving somebody, being close to somebody, but cozy up to people who are harmful to the person that you love and you close to. Is he just said, if I got a problem, Cardi got a problem. If Cardi got a problem, I got a motherfucking problem. And what he's talking about is empathy. When you love someone and you care about someone and you're close to someone and you're invested in that person, there's no way that your empathy would allow you to be comfortable cozying up to bitches who you know don't absolutely give a fuck about the person that you love and is bound to say and do any motherfucking thing as a result of not giving a fuck about the person that you love. I can understand if relationships to all parties had already existed. Maybe that's the exception to the rule. It's like you don't know both people for a very long time, etc. But once again, once you start seeing fucked up shit happen and you see that it's up and you call yourself trying to stay out of it, I think the second best thing is you can maintain proximity to the ops, but you need to always at least be honest with their motherfucking ass and call their fucking ass out when they fucking out of order. When you see the ops spinning false narratives, when you see the ops being irrational, when you see them trying to play the fucking victim when you know they were the villain in the situation, and you don't chop a bitch and you don't humble a bitch and you don't keep a bitch in alignment with the proper continuity, that can be a problem. And see, because people don't want to do all that, it typically makes situations like people trying to play the middle a complete and utter failure. But I love that for Cardi and Ken, that they have each other back like that, because he's going to go further in on this commentary and talk about how snakish and plastic and shallow and superficial this industry is. It's important for people to actually protect each other. This ain't the type of space that you can really afford to play games in. These hoes are diabolical. And the shit that these hoes be trying to do to other motherfucking people in real life is beyond the beyond the beyond. You need a firewall in this industry. You need true allyship and relationship and protection in this motherfucking industry. This industry is so over the fucking top. And the lengths, you guys would find it unbelievable, the lengths that people have gone and will go to destroy people, to grift off of people. There are girls right now on YouTube who literally play both sides, girl. They literally go and smile in other people's faces, but then they keep drama going on with that person's ops so that they can continue to have content to report on. Constantly subject your reputation to scrutiny just so that they can have content to review while wanting to cozy up in your face and also go be cozy with the motherfucking ops and be participating in behind the scenes foolishness just to keep the fire burning. Oh, the Hunger Games are motherfucking real, bitch, on social media. Someday I'm gonna talk about it.
I was trying to, like, you know, again, the initial thing, like, it was.
This is a good question, Nikki. I wonder why no one in his life tells him how toxic he is. Because everybody around him is just as fake, just as plastic, just as deaf tone, and just as transactional and opportunistic as he is. That's why. Anybody who is not telling him the truth is somebody who also don't give a fuck about him. They're using him just like he uses them. So there's some type of a benefit, and that's why personal agenda triumphs and takes priority over telling people the actual truth. That would actually be an act of love. But because it ain't no love, and truth telling is a part of love, tough love is a part of love, honesty is a part of love, transparency is a part of love, you're not going to see none of that behavior because they don't love them. And he don't love them either. It's all transactional and shallow and surfacey. And because people are thinking about themselves and what they might need from each other in the future, what they might need from each other, you know, if circumstances call for it, they will allow each other to burn the house down rather than preventing that in the name of, let me pull you aside and tug on your motherfucking wig and kind of get you together a little bit. Even if you got to do that privately, because not everything has to happen publicly. Not every conversation and hard conversation has to happen publicly. But it doesn't happen at all. Because a lot of people in this industry, girl, is fake and phony as fuck. Ain't nothing but, it's largely just a bunch of fucking narcs running around looking for a nut.
At first, like, he would have let it go too, eventually. But because he did so much and talked so much shit about the both of us over and over again, it was just like, eventually it turned into a situation where it's like, okay, I'll fuck with you because you're disrespecting me. And I didn't do anything to you. So this whole narrative about, oh, I think Ken Barbie tried to stop me from getting closer and he blocked me, he did what he had to do. It's like, how is that what I had to do? What do you think was going to happen if you managed to get closer to her? Like, the fuck you think this is? Sending the replacement or something? Like, what are we talking about? Like, that wouldn't matter to me. You really got me fucked up. But my thing is, like, I don't even know if you really genuinely believe that because you know what happened. You know we didn't argue. You know we didn't fall out. You know that the issue that y'all had nothing to do with me. I want to make sure that we're all clear on that. That issue literally had nothing to do with me. I wasn't in it, which is why I didn't know about it initially. I'm sure she was going to tell me, of course. But when he brought it to me first, I didn't know shit about it. So to sit here and try to spin this narrative that it's like, oh, Ken's in her ear, like, da-da-da-da-da-da, like, bruh, no. How? How does that add up with what actually happened? Because you know what you did. You know what made you upset that she said. So it's like, where do I even fit into that? Especially since after it happened, I sat there and basically tried to mediate by having that conversation with you when I really didn't have to. And when honestly, I really didn't even get... It literally makes me know, never mind whether y'all talk or not. Like, that.
And here's the guy. I wonder what Ken is talking about because, you know, everybody's still being super vague about this thing. I don't know why they just won't put it on the fucking table. I don't know why Ken Barbie and Cardi B haven't been smart enough to know that this type of secrecy is what Horseface is trying to hold over both of their head in order to kind of control the situation and manipulate the situation and get what the fuck he want. I don't know why they're not smart enough to pull the trigger for him, girl, because once they do, once again, the clip is emptied. He no longer has that spellbinding power no more because there's nothing to hold over their fucking head. But I wonder if what he's talking about, because he said, you know what you did that then put Cardi B in her feelings. Like, you know why she pressed. And then Ken Barbie says, once Cardi B had explained to me what the situation was, I would have been upset too. I would have been in my feelings too. I would have felt the way too. I remember there was a time, and this is the audacity of it all, where after Nicki Minaj had shared out his music video, I think it was that deposit your check shit, and then Cardi B had retweeted his video, I think within the same week. And once again, Horseface, who knows he's using Cardi, even though he's trying to create the illusion of let's be real friends, let's be really, really, really besties, when obviously his relationship to Cardi was birthed out of him once again, trying to spite Nicki Minaj, instead of him just appreciating the fact that she retweeted his video, even if she was doing it to spite Nicki. But that would have also been on brand, because I've already established earlier in the conversation that let's not act like both of these people don't know why the fuck they really dealing with each other. You're dealing with each other because the both of y'all are playing into the idea that the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So just like you tried to form a relationship to her out of spiting Nicki, she's using her relationship to you to spite Nikki as well. But the delusional bitch forgot that this was a transactional relationship. He's actually trying to play into the delusion that they're actually friends instead of remembering that he's only here to see what the fuck he can get from Cardi and to piss off Nikki, and she's only fucking with him to help use his ass to agitate Nikki ass. He goes and puts it on blast and takes up and try to take up this whole real issue like, oh, it's just really hard to appreciate the reshare because it came after Nikki. It's just kind of so hard to appreciate Cardi sharing my tight ass video because, you know, it seemed to just have been to, you know, spite another girl. And then, you know, on top of that, she didn't even tweet the original video. She had retweeted another tweet that had the video in it while Nikki had actually tweeted the actual video. It was the direct video. So you dumb, goofy, silly hoe. Are you paying either bitch for the free for promotion you're getting as a result of being a casualty of war, bitch? See, this is the thing about the bitch. The bitch don't even know how to be a proper opportunistic bitch. The bitch don't even know when to like play it up, girl, and to really just enjoy the free ride you're getting as a casualty of war. This delusion that this woman should really be fucking with you and that you can afford to tell her what the fuck you don't appreciate when she charges bitches to promote their business and to promote their music, especially businesses she's not sponsoring and businesses she's not an ambassador for, and especially music that she's not featured in. And you're gonna sit your itty bitty, emotionally unintelligent, stupid, non-intelligent, opportunistic ass on your platform and complain about what you didn't even pay for. Because guess what? Rather Cardi did it genuinely or did it despite Nicki Minaj ass, bitch, whatever the outcome was going to be as it relates to your benefit was still going to be your benefit. Those numbers wouldn't have changed just because she was genuine or not. Whatever clout, whatever streaming you got as a result of her retweeting another bitch's tweet would not have changed because she was genuine or not. But to be delusional enough to know that you're using another girl, but you want them to be genuine with you while you're being opportunistic with them, is literally the psychoticness of it all. Like, it's so psy-fucking-cotic. It's so psychotic. And for him to really think that he is the master musician and he's really got like that, he really has the power to get Cardi B to actually believe he's a real bitch when he's already disproven that time and time and time again by withholding the information that Jason Lee was dogging her ass out behind her back the whole time. You only told that shit on Mad Day, so you was cool with her having a snake ass nigga in her camp. The fact that you only formed a relationship out of her ass despite Nicki Minaj ass, but yet you really want this woman to give you a chance to be a real nigga, and you ain't proven to be that not one fucking time in no situation. And on top of not paying for no type of promotion, bitch, think that you have the space to say to somebody who didn't have to tweet a motherfucking thing that you feel away because you don't feel she retweeted your video wholeheartedly. Well, guess what? The bitch ain't tweeted shit else since. Amen.
Anything in my life.
She ain't retweet shit else since, bitch. Amen. And the next time she do, bitch, I will be running you my invoice and be running you my motherfucking pricing for what I charge hoes for half a tweet, for a whole day worth of tweet, for a week's worth of tweeting out whack ass content of another motherfucker.
But I did it because, again, we had some type of rapport. We were never like friends or anything like that, but we had some type of rapport. We're cool. And it's like, I see what's happening. I know it's a little bit more to it. Nobody really knows that better than me. So let me give him some type of insight without telling too much or saying too much as to what's going on. And also, let me help this man understand like where you fucked up at and where you are wrong, because I get it. Like everybody, especially like Google and all of that, like no headlines about this. Are you talking about YouTube? Because I definitely don't give a fuck about none of that. That's not press. When you present your media and things like that, YouTube is talking about you as not press. So I don't know where that came from, but whatever. Like that's crazy. Yeah, like that. I have to start saying like it's a lot.
But that's how he is, Raquel. He don't get it. The bitch is literally stupid. He didn't even realize in that moment he was actually winning. Like, oh my God, I'm getting free for motherfucking press from two rap superstars, bitch, and I ain't had to spend a single dollar on this publicity. I ain't had to spend no money on these free shares. The fuck? But you can get on your platform and talk shit because you don't believe it was genuine on Cardi B's point, and then wonder why she don't really fuck with your ungrateful ass. He did the same thing. Now reading the goddamn room when it came to TGIF. How you gonna come on to a show and then allow Al Reynolds, who's not even a damn host and the creator of the show, to talk shit to you about Claudia, and then to get you to not answer the phone for her as she was trying to contact him per week to try to see what all this tension was and to get to the bottom line of it, and you let this nigga put his hand up your back instead of just telling him, now that you done got the position and you earning your coin, that you don't want no part of whatever the hell they got going on because you ain't got nothing to do with that. And literally, had Horseface did that, just shut Al Reynolds' ass down from the gate and told him, I don't want no part, I don't want no placement in this thing. That roast, by the time this roast come, Wendy Wiggins' roast would have looked so simplistic. It would have been so lighthearted and surface because he would not have even indulged Al, who loaded his clip up about all his feelings and all the shit he claimed Claudia did, which then would not have led to Claudia finally having a conversation and them getting to the bottom line of the fact that Al was using his motherfucking ass, which then turned into anger and frustration from Horseface to Al Reynolds, which then he tried to pack it and get his lip back on Al by disguising it as a birthday roast. Had Horseface actually been a fucking adult and sat in the fact that, bitch, I won. I'm in this seat. I'm getting this money and getting to the bag. And I want to continue to be able to spite my goddamn ops by being in this position, and just kept his motherfucking mouth closed and told Al, I'm good, baby. I'm going to treat you with respect. I'm going to treat Claudia with respect. I ain't got shit to do with it. That roast would have never happened. Because he wouldn't have never even had any personal issue with anybody if he just would have did his job and took his ass home. I mean, how easy can it be to get on fucking Zoom and get the fuck off of Zoom? I mean, how hard can it be to do your fucking job and go home when you can do your job, bitch, in your drawers? I couldn't even do that. The bitch always runs into the wall. Always runs into the wall. Runs into it. So just like he blowing the situation with Cardi, blow the situation with Jason, blew the situation with Unhinged, blowing the situation with Ken Barbie. That was his last lifeline to Cardi. Ken definitely ain't gonna fool up with Horseface now. So if Cardi and Horseface ever come to break down in their acquaintanceship again, He don't even have a 411. He don't even have an operator to get on the phone to help his ass with. He don't even know how to play his fucking cards with Ken. Because after Ken had gotten involved the first time and trying to help him to fix his shit with Cardi, the first time, that was when Horseface was supposed to be intelligent enough to be like, oh, okay, shit, I can low-key also have Ken as my ally in this situation. Let me make sure that I play nice with this nigga. Okay? Because he got the capacity to help me with motherfucking Cardi. He got, you know, the ability to kind of intercede for me, to speak up for me. Let me play nice. Stupid bitch out here in Twitter spaces, in Twitter wars, with the only other person who can help to keep some life between you and Cardi. Now it's going to be up to him, period, to hold it together with Cardi. Because he don't got access to Ken. He don't have the luxury of having Ken as be invested or be involved.
Delusion going on. And I don't know if it's because we're dealing with some other shit. Maybe it's just like a bubbling thing where you just on up an attack. But I need you to get very real with yourself and everybody else. And you know I didn't do shit to you, dog. It's really simple as that.
Period.
And the way that you know, bullshitting, y'all. Like, if I did some shit, I would tell you. But the way that you know it's not even given that is because every time that he spoke out against it, and he said, oh, Cardi need to put her dog on a leash, or I'm going to start exposing, or I'm going to start doing this, I'm going to start doing that. But it's all aimed at Cardi. It's what you were going to say about Cardi. It's what you were going to reveal about her. Like, nothing about what I did. The person you supposedly have this big issue with. If your issue is with me, why weren't you able to expose the evil things that I've done, supposedly? Because there is none. Y'all don't know me enough to know this, but anybody who really does, especially Cardi, like, we tell each other everything, naturally. That's just how we rock. If it's a situation where we know we want advice or whatever.
Baby, and that's the gag to TSC. Look at how quick it took him to sell Mammy Radio ass down the river once he done made up with Cardi Girl. Hey, baby, let me tell you something. In the world of a narcissist, baby, everybody ass is disposable. Baby, it had took him making up with Cardi B for all of 2 hours, girl, before him and Mammy Radio was on the outs, bitch. Okay. Baby, on to the next, on to the next, honey. The narc is narking.
Yeah. But when it comes to situations like friends, I've always made a very cautious effort not to really comment on those unless I'm asked. So if I peep some, because I mean, in the entertainment business, it's a lot of shady people. It's a lot of things like that.
Yes, God.
But what you don't want to do, what I don't want to do, is I never want to be in a situation where she would ever feel uncomfortable or feel anything like, damn, Ken don't like nobody. Or like everybody I start talking to, Ken got a problem with. So I always have made a very cautious effort not to do that. Now, if she asks me something, sure, I'm going to tell you how I feel or whatever. I'm going to be honest. But that's never happened when it came to Armand. Like I said, I never had an issue with him. And Cardi actually liked him. So when I think there was one time a conversation like that came up before.
But here's the thing, though. A Mammy Radio, she ain't innocent, and she ain't the victim in the situation either, because she was another opportunistic ass person. You know, she had somebody to go in with Megan Thee Stallion about. For a while now, she's had somebody to go in with Cardi B with. She's another one who's doing whatever she got to do for Recline That Bar as well. She got pissed at Horseface for making up with Cardi because she wasn't invited to the Ponderosa. And my suspicion and guess is that Mammy Radio would have loved to have been included in that conference call between Horseface and Cardi, because she probably wanted to be able to act like a bad bitch, stand her ground, act like she doing better than Cardi, be disrespectful in the conversation, and then go clout chase in front of her audience as if she's a real bitch and kept it real and played into this narrative that she don't fold, she don't bend, etc. She wanted to be secretly invited to that convo because she wanted to be able to show her ass in that convo. She wanted to be able to talk that shit to Cardi B ass. She wanted to be able to clout chase off that moment. She wanted to be able to impress Nicki and Ra Ali, who fired her ass from Station Head. She wanted to be able to put that shit on the books, put that shit on the wax. That's why she was pissed the fuck off that she didn't get an invite. She didn't get three-wayed into the situation because she got loyalties and she want to get back into the graces of Ra Ali and Brooke Bailey and Onika Minaj. And she would have used that moment to be on a conference call with Cardi B ass to act like the bad bitch she's really in fact not. Hoping that would have gave her some equity and some value amongst Onika and Miss Ra, who's still recovering from that black eye that Sky from Black Ink Crew gave to her motherfucking ass. Oh, you came to bang? That's what you came to do? You already know what's up.
All of this stuff started to happen, but it was like the first time that Armand had reached out to me about something on my page that he felt like was for him, or somebody was telling him what could have been about him. And I called her first, like, should I even like engage in this? Like, I don't know. At this time, I don't know him. So you know what I'm saying? It's like, huh? So I'm like, should I even engage in this? Like, you think I should talk to this? Is he cool? And she's like, I mean, he's cool or whatever. She's like, I think you should just call him. Just tell him what's up, whatever. Y'all can go from there. And I'm like, sure. And she's like, yeah. So I did. We had the conversation. And from there is when we set that tone, like, look, you have my number at this point, so if anybody's telling you something, whoever is in your ear telling you this, that, and the third, then go ahead and call me. But just taking it online and shady shit and all of that is hella unnecessary. And again, if we don't have an issue with each other, then there's no reason for you to think that anyway. But if you do, hit me up. And it went from there. But I say all of that to say, I hope you don't address this anymore. I don't know if you saw the beginning of this, but this is the end. This is the end of the road, honey. But that's why I want to make sure all of this is clear. So no matter if he chooses to address it or whoever wants to keep making content about it, no matter what y'all do, what I said for the record is here and it's very clear and easy to understand. Because like I said, last time I was high, so it might have been all over the place, but tonight, hopefully all of this shit is making sense and we can ride on out. Damn, you didn't even forget what I was saying. But yeah, so from there we talked about it, but there's never been another conversation that we had about like having any type of issue or concerns about Armand for me to be in her ear about anything. We were all supposed to be cool. It just was not that big of a deal to sit around talking about you. And not to say too much, but I specifically remember a time after, I think it was after one of those times that he questioned if something I tweeted or something was about him because somebody else had voiced something to him. Whatever. We had a conversation about it, but I'm gonna definitely leave it up. We had a conversation about it, and he told me like, I mean, he did ask me like, did you talk about him like you don't like him or something like that? And I told him like, Ken doesn't talk about you, like he's not like that. So she told you that herself. Like, what? I'm not understanding what's not clicking. And like, it's just not that deep. So, I have an issue now. Yeah, I don't fuck with you. Because
Period.
You know what you've been doing.
Period.
You know how you've been talking about me. You know how you've been talking about my best friend.
And it's so fucking exhausting if you're listening to what Ken is saying. Like, could you imagine a bitch like this is so exhausting? Like, girl, first of all, you out here constantly keeping us in some shit. You dragging Cardi, then you constantly harassing me. Every time I go to tweet something, every time I go to post something, bitch, you obsessing about whether it's you, bitch. I can't even open up my mouth as if I'm not on JT ass. As if I'm not on Nicki Minaj ass. As if I ain't got a whole lot of other bitches to throw shade at, girl. You the one thinking that everything that I'm fucking doing is directed towards you, girl. As if I ain't got other girls to go press on. And to constantly have to deal with all that, like, we got to deal with this bitch talking shit, throwing subs, running amok in the kingdom, but because Cardi, you trying to use the motherfucking nigga, I gotta play my fucking role as the best friend and go along with you because you trying to also use this nigga like he using you. Okay, cool, but goddamn. Like, girl, Cardi would have had to cut me a motherfucking check, bitch, to be dealing with a Looney Tune like this, to be dealing with a damn paranoid ass. Ain't the bitch a Gemini too, bitch? So you already suffer from spiritual bipolarism, bitch? Just spiritually bipolar ass, flip-flopping ass bitch? Could you imagine how exhausting that is? And I'm honestly surprised. Like, Ken must really love Cardi because, like, the one time that Wendy Wiggins jumped out of the window on me, bitch, it was done. I never went back, girl. I clipped that girl immediately, girl. There was no conversation. There was no text. There was no nothing. Over and done. So the fact that Ken even kept putting up with this shit had to be an act of loyalty to Cardi B because he was really trying to just play the game because Cardi B trying to play the game. You know, he trying to be on code for his homegirl, but bitch, she would have had to pay me a stipend. She would have had to pay me some type of an allowance. I would have needed some type of pain and suffering, bitch. There would have had to be some type of compensation, girl, to deal with this weird asshole. Would have had to be.
You know that I didn't do anything to you. So, yeah. That would be cool. But that doesn't mean I have to sit around and talk about it. That doesn't mean I have to sit around and shade you. That doesn't mean I have to wish bad on you. I don't do any of that. We literally don't have to have any type of interaction. We don't have any mutual friends. We don't hang out in the same places. We don't do any of that. So it legitimately does not matter. So from this day forward, there is really no reason why we should be discussing each other. If we don't fuck with each other, let that be it and keep it the fuck moving. Simple. All this childish back and forth and stuff, again, benefits no one.
And I think the reason why Horseface is really, really, really pressed for all the other reasons I say he's pressed about Ken Barbie for is because Ken Barbie and Cardi B's relationship is the most public out of all her relationships. Probably her relationship to Jason and her relationship to Ken is the most public relationship. And that's why I think he also targets Ken Barbie and dog piles all this like burden onto Ken Barbie and constantly trying to indict Ken Barbie because that's the only relationship that he can see is absolutely in motion because Ken and Cardi are so publicly close to one another. And once again, that also is a part of the narcissism, right? Because just like when he got fired from TGIF, girl, he went on a whole Twitter rant trying to make everybody else the problem, trying to make the viewers the problem, trying to make other YouTubers the problem, trying to make everybody else the problem except himself, who literally breached his own contract by talking about the thing he said his contract said they can't talk about, which is Al's marriage to Sar Jones, by putting out all type of personal information that can be argued to be slanderous, like Al's special relationship to management, by putting out there on Front Street for public fodder that there is a lot of in-house division and Al is the one creating that division, and not understanding at all how that wasn't going to be conducive for team spirit, for team morality. That wasn't going to be conducive at all, bitch. I don't know where he actually thought that roast was supposed to lead to. I don't know what type of positive outcome he delusionally imagined would be the fucking result of putting that type of information in a so-called fucking roast, but that's what he does. He self-fucking sabotage. And I kind of forgot what I brought that up for another fucking reason. I brought that up for another motherfucking reason. The bitch just don't know how to do his goddamn job. And just shut the fuck up and take it fucking easy. and just work on your lane and work on your part. And guess what? Here's what let me it's the unemotionally intelligent versus the emotionally intelligent. A unemotionally intelligent person would be horse-faced in the situation doing what he's doing. I can't explain why Cardi B ain't really fucking with me. Let me blame Ken Barbie. What a emotionally intelligent person, or at least a very strategic and a very strong opportunistic person would have did was, Ken Barbie has already helped me out one time before. Let me keep him in my back pocket. And then if there comes another opportunity or situation where I feel like Cardi B switching up on me and I don't know what the fuck is going on, what I'm going to do, especially since I want to be close to her, even if it is for material and superficial reasons, instead of me picking fights with the people around her, which is only going to cause her to put her loyalty on display, which then might out my motherfucking ass, because of course she's going to choose the people she's actually family and friends with over my peripheral existing ass in her reality. Instead, let me just work on making myself trustworthy. Let me just work on making myself a team player. Let me just work on actually being someone of fucking value so that I can continue to get whatever the fuck it is I'm trying to fucking get out of the situation. But no, not Horseface, baby. Horseface thinks that the solution to his problem with trying to social climb through these damn celebrities is, let me just pick more fights and 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 draw a wedge, and then be mad when people like Cardi B choose the people who they actually have the fucking loyalty to and who has loyalty back to them, like Ken fucking Barbie. I hate this for him. I hate it.
So if you want to think, look at me, whatever the case may be, have that. If you want to think I'm ugly and all of these things, that not fucking you ever anyway. So it is what it is.
Does he? And that's the thing, Cammy. Does he ever consult the cards about his shit? While he around here wanting to charge the girls all the $15 and $20 and $35 damn dollars to see into their damn future, does he ever damn like put some Windex to the crystal ball and consult with the damn ancestors about the shit he impulsively jumping? Does he ever pull the reverse Uno, bitch? Does he ever get a reading while he's in the business of trying to provide these damn readings? Because, girl, you can't tell me it's nothing in the stars and nothing in the cards, girl, that don't give you a play-by-play in the blueprint, bitch, of the outcome of said behavior and situations. I don't understand.
Fuck alone. I do encourage some type of self-reflection, because the fact that you don't see what this is, or I don't know if maybe you just don't want to admit it publicly, but a lot of self-reflection is needed, because I'm not the first person that you've had these types of issues with. I'm not the first person that you've publicly fallen out with, anybody that you're supposed to be cool with or whatever. Something's going on.
Ken is literally struggling to not call this bitch delusional and severely mentally impaired and just all out goddamn crazy. I think that this is why him and Kaka was able to have a close relationship, girl, because it's two crazies of the same coin. Horseface is just high functioning crazy, and Kaka is just in your face, padded room, no holds bar crazy.
And it's never really been my business to get into, or it's never really affected me in any way for me to judge you. But now that I see how you've done not just my friends, but also me for no reason. Again, we never fell out. Now I'm judging. Now I don't fuck with you. Now it's dead. I know a lot of people laughing because I said it was ashes, and I meant that it is. Also, I know it was insinuated that there was like phone call recordings and things like that. I have never in my life recorded any phone call with Armand, nor has Cardi. So if any type of recording does exist, it is not to our knowledge and it is not from our end. I don't think there was ever really anything scandalous enough to feel like that needs to be done. Like, we cool. Like, what the fuck? Also, I feel it was insinuated that I think they were trying to, I don't know if they were trying to say me or Cardi, but they were trying to say that somebody said we want you on our side. I want to give some clarification on that. I said something similar. What I said was, and actually, let me roll back and tell y'all what was going on.
Yeah, do
so
that.
So it was one of those situations where someone was telling him that something I tweeted at the time was about him, or trying to shut down something that he was saying or something like that. So that became a thing where we going at it. And I ended up asking him, like, look, can you, the person that's telling you this, after we cleared it up, I'm like, can you get them on the phone so that we can talk about this? Because I don't understand, like, and I feel like they're kind of like trying to stir the pot and make these things about you so that we can't have some type of issue against each other. So we all got on the phone, had this conversation, had a bit of more so me and Armand had the understanding, but this person was on the phone, like, still kind of, she was like, okay, but she was also like bringing up questions like, well, I don't know, I think it's just really convenient that you tweeted this around this time. You know what I think it was? I think it was when he was having an issue with Lotto, and I had tweeted later in the day about like how the Barb and these bloggers and stuff were picking with her at the time, because it was when she had just fell out with Ogro. So I tweeted something like, it's a lot of picking going on Lotto right now, whatever the case may be. Was it directed at him directly? No, but that is what was going on. So we kind of talked about that, but she's just like, I think it's really convenient that you tweeted that when he was going back and forth with her. I think he wanted to be like good cop, bad cop, like y'all got some type of issue with each other. Those are the words that she was using. And my response to that was like, I'm gonna be really honest with you. I'm the type of person that always thinks about the future. I always think about the bigger picture. So even if I did have an issue with you, Armand, I'm not gonna make that a public spectacle. The reason I'm not gonna make that a public spectacle and make people think that is because I already know how this shit works specifically on Twitter. And from there, that other side that is so invested in trying to see us lose or have some type of issue with us or whatever, they are going to latch on, try to be cool, boost it up, and that type of thing. Exactly what's pretty much been happening now, actually. So I didn't lie. But I said that I was like, I don't have time for that. So no, I actually would never do that. So it wasn't a situation where somebody was trying to like bribe to be over here, whatever the case may be. It wasn't that. So I wanted to make sure we cleared that up real quick too, because I noticed a lot of people were making their assumptions about what that meant. But no, that's pretty much what I said. I don't know if verbatim, if that's how I said it, because it was so long ago now, but that was the gist of what was going on and what I meant. But as far as like wanting you to like diss people and things like that, don't give a fuck. Never gave a fuck. Because that's not, I just don't I don't care. Not that deep. Do what you want to do. But yeah, like I don't know what else you want. I don't know what you want me to do. I don't know what you want Cardi to do. I just don't know. But as far as like wanting you to like diss people and things like that, don't give a fuck. Never gave a fuck. Because that's not, I just don't I don't care. Not that deep. Do what you want to do. But yeah, like I don't know what else you want. I don't know what you want me to do. I don't know what you want Cardi to do. I just don't know. But it's not for me to figure out. I'm respectfully bowing the fuck out. I will not be addressing this anymore. So anything that you say, you got it. But I'm respectfully asking to leave me the fuck alone. I have not slandered you. You know everything that I said. I haven't lied one bit. So just leave me alone. It's really that simple. I think that's pretty much it. I want to read some comments real quick, just so I can see any questions. If there's anything that I left out, because once we leave, we will not be back here. What the fuck is on my shirt? Hold on, y'all. A lot of times my comments don't work while I'm on Spaces. Nobody.
Energy vampire on period.
Okay, so I don't really see no like crazy. Want that? I'm looking at the bigger. I'm going to fuck up. That's what I'm doing.
Okay, so that pretty much was the end of Ken Barbie's rant. Pretty much exposed the fact that Horseface is an energy vampire, a parasitic leech, a succubus, mentally deranged, immature as hell, suffers from delusions of paranoia, both covert and overt narcissism. On one hand, he is the perpetual victim. On the other hand, he's that bitch. He don't know which bitch he really is, girl. He's just all knotted and tangled up. I'm glad that Ken Barbie put it all out there on the floor, girl. That the girl is just a LA mess who's deeply trying to overcompensate for, you know, feeling like a loser in real life, and is moving in all the wrong directions in a attempt to work out her own soul salvation. And like everybody was saying in the chat, of course, there's no accountability because people like Horseface do not allow anybody to be a no man to them. When you are a no man, you get disposed of. Him always blaming Ken Barbie for his failed relationship to Cardi. This is a pattern of Horseface. Remember when he wanted his ex-childhood friend, the official King Pussy, to not work with other influencers because he had smoke with those influencers that official King Pussy was trying to cozy up to? Even though Horseface himself pussy pops and goes back and forth in friendship with them same influencers. Just like he made up with Madison. He made up with Neek at Night. He made up with Storm Monroe. But his ex-bestie, official King Pussy, was supposed to be willing to permanently distance himself from those same content creators while he indulges and dilly dabs in all of their asses as he see fits. Or remember how when the night that me and Larry fell out with Tasha K, and then Horseface went live, and in that live stream, Larry called into his show, and Horseface was like bantering on with Larry about how I told you about her. Even though Larry's relationship did not impact him at all. But that's just how obsessed he was over Tasha K. This is how obsessed he was over trying to create division in the situation, and was boasting about how he was so right about Tasha, while at the same time did not admit and reveal that he was having Larry to try to work on his relationship to Tasha behind the damn scenes. This is the type of like spiritual schizophrenia and bipolarism that Ken Barbie is fucking talking about. Weird. So this explains why he constantly continues to call into the Cockeyed show and argue with him and try to get him off his neck, despite that he got, 100,000 more robots subbed to his channel than the Cockeyed do, despite the fact that he, was on TGIF for 3 months and fired in 3 months, like Sherelle's World said he would be, but yet he would call into, the low-hanging fruit show of the Cockeyed one. And continue to wrestle and argue with this damn man over the damn phone for hours on end, because that's actually how insecure and how obsessed she is with controlling the narrative. It's funny that he wants to make a living dog walking fucking celebrities without them clapping back, without them cussing him the fuck out, without them blocking his motherfucking ass, without there being no consequences and repercussions. But he himself can't even stand the rain. He himself can't even stand being talked about and being dragged and being criticized and or etc. without being the YouTube fucking police and trying to be the proverbial fucking victim. It's the hypocrisy of Horseface's democracy. But the self-destruction will continue on to be had. It's been one breakdown after another breakdown, after another breakdown, after another breakdown, girl. It done went from breakdown with Cardi to breakdown with TGIF to breakdown with Al Reynolds, now to breakdown with Mammy Radio. Now you done broke down with Ken Barbie, who done said, bitch, I don't fuck with you. The door is motherfucking closed. It's just one implosion after another, girl. This girl is having the worst year ever. And that's after she told me and Sherelle to wake the fuck up. And we did, to his nightmare. I bet you he wished we would have kept the goddamn lights off now and kept our asses in bed now. I'm sure. So, hope you guys enjoyed that. Tell me what you guys think about Ken Barbie and everything he revealed, girl, about having to constantly pander to this bitch's frailty. What you think about Ken Barbie being done, not wanting anything to fucking do with this horse who no longer has a stable? What do you guys think about what Ken Barbie revealed about this nigga being so entitled and wanting Cardi B to like always share him out just because she's supporting her actual friend all the time, Ken Barbie? What do y'all think about what Ken Barbie revealed about Horseface actually thinking that he's considered an actual fucking friend to Cardi B? What do you guys think about him constantly running the fucking Ken Barbie girl every time there's a fucking issue between him and Cardi, or always wanting to blame him for any issue he thinks he has with Cardi girl? It's just so many things that Ken Barbie unloaded. Jesus Christ. Ken Barbie says he's on to other things now, girl. He's not about to go back and forth with this stableless ass horse anymore who's looking for a rider, girl. Okay, so shout out to Ken Barbie and to Cardi B. Real friendship still exists. I love this for him and her. And I'll see you all later. Okay, you guys make sure y'all thumbs up and share. And all donation information is in the description box below. Bye.